What's up, guys? Jaydaniel here with my guest. Not really my guest. I guess you're my guest. You're my guest today. No, I'm just kidding. Victor runs the show. I'm just a pretty face. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the Sales at Home podcast, guys. Victor, what did you want to talk about today?
What's up, guys? So, for those who are just joining us for the first time, this may not be, a podcast that you listen to regularly. Our guy Jaydaniel here went to Costa Rica a couple weeks ago on this killer business trip. He was there to rub elbows with the likes of Damon John and other big people, big names in business. What was it? $6,000 entry?
Yeah, no, the ticket. The tickets weren't cheap, but it was sick, bro. It was
Yeah. And
freaking insane.
you got to, rub shoulders with the big guys. So we wanted to take some time to just dedicate this episode of the podcast to just asking questions about Costa Rica, just seeing what was going on and how fun it was and what you learned and who you saw.
For sure. No, dude, it was great. It was really good. I haven't done like a whole bunch of traveling, so like that was my first like international trip, and it was like beautiful.
Yeah. So,
Like
so first, like, what was the event?
yeah. So it was the Commitment Summit. JC Hype put it together. Shout out to JC. Um Dan Henry was there. I don't know if you guys know like Rudy Maurer, Damon John, Kevin Harrington were there from like Shark Tank. Jesse Itzler, and Jesse Itzler's my guy, bro. Like Jesse is freaking awesome. He's the one that started Vita Coco, the coconut water
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
And he sold it. And then he started Marquis Jet, which is like the world's biggest like private jet company. He sold that one too. Um, like like his girl, like Sarah Blakely, like she started Spanx and sold it. So she's a billionaire in her own right, right? Like they're just awesome. And in terms of energy, like he was probably my favorite speaker. Like, at the end of the day, we've all been drinking for 3 days and hanging out and all these people talking, and like very little sleep. And like I was listening to somebody, I don't know who it was, bro. I heard somebody was speaking and I was like, and then Jesse came over and I was like, yo, this is awesome. I'm awake. But no, who else was there? So the owner of Go High Level was there. The owner of a really big recruitment company, Jace Gray. He was really cool too. We got
Oh,
we got
yeah,
along really
nice.
well. Yeah. There were a lot of guys there, bro. It was the Duck Dynasty guys. Like they were there. I think it was like 30, like it was like 30 speakers in total or something, but it was really cool. And next year there's gonna be another event. Michael Jordan's gonna be there and a couple other people. So it's
Nice.
I think it was like Michael Jordan and Donald Trump are gonna be there.
Okay,
That's like,
cool.
yeah, and a couple other people. So don't quote me on that. I'm not sure about Trump. I know
Yeah,
Michael's gonna be there, but um yeah, dude. Good. Lots of speakers.
sweet.
Lots of guys. Like you know what I mean. Just big businesses. Really good environment. It was great.
So you basically had, your big summit arena in Costa Rica, and they were giving
Yeah.
speeches and giving like talks. So it was like a scheduled. You'd have like what, 3 or 4 talkers a day, and then
Yeah.
the rest
So
of
it's
it.
like 8 hours a day. Yeah. So it's like 8 hours a day of like speeches around like digital marketing. I don't currently have a digital marketing agency, so I probably attended half of those. The other half, I was enjoying the resort. I got a massage every single day that I was there, which was
Nice.
extremely overpriced, but well worth it. The spa was 15,000 square feet of just like anemones and stuff.
Wow.
No, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. It was good.
Nice.
What else is there? I mean, yeah, we went uh like so I went on like four-wheelers like through like all passing all the different beaches, like the volcanoes, like um through the cities. It was really cool. What's interesting too? Like I feel like there's like a different kind of like uh I guess wokeness when you're outside of the US. I don't know if that makes sense. Like people people are just more like, even like, so it was like a little village, bro. Like
Yeah.
500 people live there. Everybody knows each other. Like like the buses are like, it not super crazy, but
Yeah.
like just the tour guide and everybody there, like it was just more conscious conversations. I think a
Hmm.
lot of the combos I have with regular people per se that work regular jobs is the conversations. There's not a lot of like consciousness in it, if you know what I mean,
Yeah. It's
right?
not a lot of substance.
Yeah. So it was good, man, dude. It was,
Nice.
it was all
So
the
you
way
got to
up.
rub elbows with a few like really
Oh
high
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Who would you say was the the best elbow rub that you got when you were there?
Does the masseuse count, bro?
Always, the masseuse always counts.
Oh man, the masseuse. No, so the best elbow rub. That's a good question. I mean, Dan Henry was freaking gold, bro. Like he had a lot of really good stuff he put out there, and um, no, it's got to be Jace. Jace. So on the bus there, like he's the one that runs like the recruitment company. On the bus
Yeah.
drive like to the resort. It's like an hour drive from the airport to the resort because we're like the resort's right there in like next to Nicaragua.
Hmm.
If you walk to the end of the resort, you're gonna see like the little like islands,
Yeah.
and like you can actually see Nicaragua at the end of it, like by the beach. So it's
Wow.
like, yeah, no, so it's yeah. I mean, we talked for like an hour and a half, bro, and he was just dropping gems and just kind of like just giving me. He was like, nah, bro, like the digital marketing, like it's just he was just like saying like, no, this space is tiny, like it's nothing, like he was opening me up to like the amount of work that like people who run like massive businesses that scale quickly actually do, like 18
Mhm.
hours a day, like sometimes 2 days straight, like just going right, like it and yeah, bro, like there were a lot of really good conversations. Like that's one thing that did happen. It was a lot of really good like conversations and connecting,
Awesome.
but that one really stuck out to me. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you feel like it's something that you would continue to do?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
no, it's. I feel it's something that's mandatory. If you want change, you need to put yourself in different environments that stimulate change, right? Um, and so like being away from my typical environment, like just, I mean, I made 5 sales a day I came back, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just my like the pressure that used to exist on a sales call, like it completely went away,
Yeah.
you know? Because it's like who gives a fuck, you know? Like it the identity shifted from like the sales guy, the closer, to like the entrepreneur, right? Like I had a bunch of people with 7-figure business saying like, what? Why are you a sales guy? You're an entrepreneur. Like, if I'm making 7 figures, you could make 7 figures. There was a guy, and by the way, guys, this is a testament to like the power of networking, right? Like I had people there saying like dude, like no, we got a partner. Like I need you to partner. I need you to like do like run my team. Like I can tell you're a sales wizard. Like you're good. You're good. Like dude, like never seen me sell. Like never listened to one of my calls. Like doesn't know my numbers, right? But like already like partners, like equity, like working together, like we need to, like there has to be a way for us to figure this out,
Yeah.
right? And so that's testament to like the power of networking, right? And just like really connecting with people in different environments, right? Because that's when you are in the same environment as somebody, right? There's almost a perception of like because they're in the same environment, we're equals, right? Like the reason like people who are interviewing for a position get beat up so bad is because like this person is in this environment in their business and everything they have, and they're the scarce one, right? And everybody else wants them, right? They're the hot girl at the party with 99 dudes. You know what I mean? Like you like yeah, I mean, if you're just getting in the room, man, it opens you up to so many opportunities. No opportunity is guaranteed, but I think it's huge, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking like I'm planning on network. I'm planning on doing a lot of trips, bro. Like
Yeah.
at least like every quarter, every 3 months at least.
That being said, guys, Jaydaniel is now taking over Tesla and their sales program.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a Nike logo. It's fake. There's a Tesla one under there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, though. I mean, just the fact that you were there in the room where it happens, and they're like, "Hey, I love your energy. Like, you got to be good at what you do. You're here. You're among all these greats. Like, let's partner up. Let's do something. Let's build some equity together. Let's do something together. Let's start a new project together. Let's do all of this. Like, that's really cool, and it speaks to putting yourself in a position like that. And you don't have to take a multi-thousand-dollar trip to get there, but you've got to find a way to get there. If you're not there in your career and you haven't gotten there yet, there's a problem. Like, you need to be there.
Right. The thing too, like there's so much you could do in your environment, right? Like I think too the thing that like obviously like experience and stuff, but I think something that really set me apart when I'm talking to people is like I do know a lot of shit in sales. Like if somebody asks me a question, I can answer it. Like
Mhm.
I got this objection. Why do you think I got it? Like, oh yeah, it was probably because you did this. Like this is how you handle it,
Yeah.
right? This is why people try to handle it, but they can't, right? Like I can explain that in detail because I have the understanding. You get that from like and you don't even have to have money, right? Like you read the books, bro.
Yeah.
Most people that make courses, they made it because they read a bunch of books,
Yep.
right? They didn't take a course. So do as they do, not what they say. Like read the same books they read.
Yeah.
You have the same knowledge, right? Like and don't just read it, understand it, right?
Yeah.
Like comprehension and application is everything, right? So like if you just if you don't prepare yourself or when you step in the room in front of opportunity, you're not going to be able to capitalize on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like because the saddest moment ever is when when you find opportunity, when opportunity is presented to you that you could have been prepared for if you weren't lazy,
And you
but you're
fall down.
not, and you
Yeah.
lose it and you never get it back.
Hmm.
Right? It's different if like you never had a chance, but if you know you had a chance, if you just put in the work and now it's gone and now you can never get it back, like that's heavy, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, bro.
100%. Dude, like I can I can only imagine, being in a room of, hundreds of people, high level people, people who've done billions, and just the energy that was there and like the ability to just soak in all the knowledge. Like what would you say were some gems that you gathered from the whole experience?
Oh, dude, Jesse gave a really good one. So, man, Jesse's a billionaire, bro. But he's like one of the nicest guys you ever meet.
Yeah.
Everything he does is like the last thing he talked about was money, right?
Yeah.
It's just like living an awesome life, like helping people, like really taking seriously like the language you speak. Um, but I think one of the biggest takeaways I got from it, bro, was he basically said like design your life first, the things you want to do. Like if you want to do trips or this or that, just make that your life first, right? And then plan in all your work around it,
Hmm.
right? So like you have your life,
Hmm.
right? You plan for your life and you plan work around it, because if work is your life, you don't like your life.
Yeah.
And if you don't like your life, like guess what happens when it's over.
Literally. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
it was huge. That
And
was huge
that's
to me.
it's funny that you say like he's a billionaire, but he's like the nicest guy ever. Like there's no reason not to be nice when you've got $1 billion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's no reason not to be, because you've built something and you built a machine, not just something, not just some little thing. You built a machine that fuels the rest of your whole life to a point where this machine takes care of you and everyone else that you'll ever know for the rest of their lives. Right?
Yeah.
It's like this machine takes all the stress away, but you've built something that's great and that takes a lot of work and a lot of energy to get there. But
Yeah.
once you get there, like you're there, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and dude, like it's funny you say that. Like it was what's something there's a really cool like okay, it was like the best way to make billions. The best way to make millions is billions is to impact billions of people. Like that's it. If you want to make $1 billion, impact a million people. Like you'll get there, right? Like
yeah,
that. Like just anybody who's a billionaire, they've impacted like the lives in some way of
mm,
a lot of people. You know, the reason Musk is like the richest man in the world is guess what? Like he's had like a 30 to $120,000 impact
yeah,
on people's bank accounts for them to get the Tesla,
yeah,
like the SpaceX, right? Like how much is that? Like that the, what is it, like $50 million a rocket or something?
yeah,
Like, it's huge. Like
yeah,
the chips in the brain, bro, getting rid of people with like spinal issues. Like they put a chip in their brain and like fix it by putting it like it's crazy, bro.
mhm.
You know? So
Yeah.
like
It's like that's cool that you want to make billions of dollars, you need to impact millions to billions of people. And
yeah,
to do that,
probably
you've got to
butchered that
start
shit.
by impacting one person, right?
Yep.
You got to start by impacting one person at a time. And from there, growing your impact and building your impact. So a lot of people are like, I want to make $1 million. So they start out today trying to make a million, right?
Right.
But what you really need to do is make one first. make one,
Right.
and then two, and then three, and then build from there. And all of a sudden, you start to exponentially grow because you're impacting those people around you.
Right. Oh, there's a Steve Harvey quote. Like it's like, want to make $1 million? Like, here's what you do: make $1.
Yeah.
Then you make 10. Then you make 100. Right? It's
Yeah.
like, no, no. He's like, no. So here's what you do: make $1. Do that 10 more times. Right?
Yeah.
Now you made $10. Now do that 10 more times. Now
Yeah.
you made 100. Now do that 10 more times. We're up to a million, you know?
Yeah.
And it's true. Like you like you just start with one and you work your way up.
Mhm.
You know?
True.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, bro. I mean, like the biggest thing that I found is like if you want to make money, like it's not like a law of attraction, special spiritual like yogi thing. It's just like you solve a problem, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just like what are the action steps required to be able to produce those numbers? What is the math associated with it and what needs to be done to achieve it? And how do you track it? Right? Like that's it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um yeah. So I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I learned over there, bro. But like the biggest thing is like how good I don't know how good you feel when you're just in a different environment for a while, you know? Because at the end of the like at the end of those weeks, I just felt like a different person, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Like getting out of the norm and the mundane and like of everyday life and just shocking
Mhm.
your system with something completely new. It's like it's like if you're in the gym and you're doing, bench press, bench press, bench press, you're only gonna grow so much. But then
That's for me, of course.
you hit the dumbbells and then start doing different movements or you start doing squats and all of a sudden your body starts to change and you start to feel better because you're
Uh-huh.
doing different things. You're shocking your system and you're getting out of the routine. And I think
Right.
routine is one of the best things for your life, but it's also one of the worst things because with routine comes complacency. So routine has to switch up every now and then. You've got to build something, some type of shock into your system.
You need a routine where you think. If people just thought for 30 minutes a day, most problems would go away. They
Hmm.
would realize like, oh, the only reason that I'm still sick is because the pills I'm taking are numbing my body's ability to tell me to stop being a dumbass and doing the thing that makes me sick. Oh, everybody hates me because I'm a dickhead. Oh, right. Like people don't think.
Yeah,
Like, whenever there's a chance to think, they pull out the phone and
yeah,
they get distracted until the next thing happens. And then they just barely get to go to sleep. They wake up late for work or with their pants halfway off,
yeah,
right? Like they wake up, they're already late. So they're already in a state of like stress. Like there's just very little thinking that's done, you
yeah.
know?
How much time a day? That's a good point. How much time a day do you spend on your phone?
On my phone?
Yeah.
Good question. Uh I have an app here. It tracks it for me.
I know I spend a lot of time on my phone,
Yeah,
and one
I
of
got
those
an hour and a half today, bro, on my phone.
it's one of those things that I'm trying to like dial out, you know,
Right.
and spend work time at work doing work that causes work to be done, right? I know that's
Yep.
a mouthful, but I want to spend work time at work doing work that causes work to be done.
Oh,
And then
100%.
and then I want to be off my phone, able to just like enjoy things or read a book. Dude, I haven't read a book in a long time. I've listened to books. You know what I mean? I've listened to a lot of books, but I haven't sat down and held a book and read it in a while. And
Bro,
yeah, kids and all that stuff happens, but there's still, like you said, there's time. I just have to make that time work. So staying off my phone or um, you know, like exercising more, getting out there and actually doing more with my life and being more active. Those are all like things that I need to do. And it's like you said, if I think about it and I really program, okay, where can I budget this time? There's plenty of time to do it.
bro, like the just thinking, man. It sounds funny as fuck, but it's true. Like it's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. Um, No, and it's funny. I kind of have this weird like this is something I've just noticed like developing lately. Like because I used to really overstimulate. Like I've realized like a rut, like a really bad rut, right, is like you're chasing pleasure, right? Like it's
Yeah,
like you're on the phone, but you also want to eat something, but
yeah,
you also want to like watch a video,
yeah,
right? But you all like you're just doing six things at once to stimulate yourself,
yeah,
right? Like now, bro, whenever I'm doing one thing and I'm like kind of and I catch myself like looking to get on, I'm looking to multitask. Whenever I notice that, I'm like, okay, I got to do something else.
hmm
As soon as like I try to refocus, but if I'm having a hard time refocusing, or I'm just like I keep zoning off to something else, I realize I have to do something else,
yeah,
right? At least like go for a walk and chill out because I'm useless right now, right? You got to be able to you got to almost be able to treat like it's weird. You almost have to babysit yourself,
hmm
right? It's interesting because I think a lot of people beat themselves up for like for natural human tendencies. You got to almost like babysit yourself, like
Gotta learn to regulate it.
yeah, exactly. Like, okay, cool. Like, I know, like, it's not that I'm a bad person. It's
Yeah,
that, like,
I have bad habits.
this, yeah, this
Yeah,
is what's happening right now.
yeah,
Like, so let's remove ourselves from the situation, right?
yeah.
Like,
Like kind of like we talked about, a couple weeks ago, was isolating the action from the person.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. You got to do that with yourself. A lot of people just judge the fuck out of themselves instead of
yeah,
fixing the problem.
yeah. And that's one of the things that coming into sales has helped me with
Yep.
isolating the action from the person. Because I mean, honestly, growing up, I never thought I would achieve anything. I thought I was a hard worker. I put a lot of effort into everything that I did, but I never thought I did anything at a high enough level to achieve anything worth anything. So
Right.
there's a lot of that came in with me to sales that I had to break out of. And it's just isolating the action, isolating the fact that, all right, I know I'm a hard worker. I know I'm the type of person I can hold down three different jobs, a family, and still like bust my butt in everything that I do to try to make it work. But those are actions. That's not who I am, right?
Right.
I need to separate the action. So if something fails, if something doesn't work, that action doesn't work. So let me figure out how to fix that action. It's not has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with
Yep.
fixing myself. So I'm off the hook, right? I saw this really awesome like talk today on
Uh-huh.
TikTok. And
Yeah.
mind you, TikTok is another time waster, but if you use it right, it's good. But I was
TikTok
I
will
was
kill
sitting
you,
there.
man.
Say what?
TikTok will kill you, man.
As I saw this video and this guy said, he said, if I were to walk into this room and say to you, hey, I don't like you, I don't like your blue hair. And he's like, would that offend you? If I were to walk over to you and say, hey, I don't like your blue hair, would that offend you? And if I were to say to you, hey, I don't like your blue hair, would that offend you? And he was like, probably not, because none of you have blue hair. So if I say I don't like you because you're fat, or I don't like you because of this, you've got to have enough self, esteem and self-awareness of yourself to be like, no, that's not me. I'm okay with myself. Or I'm not lazy. My actions may be this, but that's not me. So what you say doesn't affect me, right? And I said that to say this. We do that to ourselves. We tell ourselves, hey, you're lazy or you're stupid or you're never going to achieve anything. But it doesn't even
Mhm.
have to come from anybody else. But we've
Right.
got to have enough like awareness of our own selves to be like, no, no, no. Even though it's coming from me, that's not who I am.
Right.
That's an action, or that's something that I can fix. That action, even if it's a negative action, that's an action I can fix. That's not who I am, like at my core. And then you take your values and your actions and make sure your values align with your actions and your actions align with your values, and then you're good to go.
That's powerful. That's huge. Like, yeah, bro. I mean, like, dude, even like that's as simple as it is, right? Like, even if you think about like sales or business, like if you just plan your actions when you're in a decent state of mind, you're not like distracted. They're probably gonna be the right actions, you know, to like move you in the right direction.
Yeah.
Um, Jim Rohn always said like before the night, and I'm gonna butcher it, tear it completely. I'm just acknowledging that. But Jim Rohn always said like before the day starts, like your day should already be done.
Yeah.
You know, like no. exactly what you'll do. Um, like even like the content you watch, and this is just like a best case scenario, right? Like I know like knowing what YouTube videos you're gonna watch, right? At what times, like okay, cool. So I'm gonna have downtime most likely from here, here, and here. That's about like an hour and a half. I already have these videos like downloaded that I'm gonna
Mhm.
watch instead of just
Right.
have you ever just like opened up YouTube and you look at like recommendations and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this looks good, and you just start
Yeah.
watching that, and then you're like, you know what, like squirrel, and then you like
Yeah.
you click on something random.
You're just like, all right, let me watch a video on Steph Curry's legacy again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What's LeBron doing today?
Yeah.
You
Like
know,
all the stuff that none of the stuff that matters in your progression or matters in your growth.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's good to plan, like, and that's why thinking is good, bro. Like if you
Yeah.
can think, you can like choose actions that are aligned with like who you want to be and the
Yeah.
kind of life you want to have, right? Um, because it's not nothing's really up to luck, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's very intentional. Like even like me going to Costa Rica, I had to purchase a very specific ticket, like get the air thing, right? Like I had to get a passport, right? Like I got my friend, and I had 2 weeks to get the passport. So I went to go get it, and they're like, yeah, it's a 20-week wait time. Right. So it's like, okay, cool. I got to find a way to get it quicker. Like, how do I get it expedited? 5 weeks? That's too long. How much do you
Yeah.
want? What?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. These guys will do it in a week. All right, cool. Let's do it. Here. Got
Yeah.
it in 3 days. Bam, done. Right. Very intentional. Like,
Is it legit?
oh, no, no. It's legit, bro. It's legit. It's legit.
Calling INS.
No, I got my passport like quick, bro.
That's what's
Like
up.
it was crazy quick. Yeah, it was quick, bro.
Yeah. Well, hey,
But
I, I don't want to drag on too long tonight. I know we've got some awesome day tomorrow. I'm killing it.
yeah, no, I gotta chill, bro. I took like 10 calls today. I hit the gym
Yeah.
bunch. I'm ready to
But
get
next
over
week,
it. Oh
next week,
yeah,
we're gonna have
next
Zach
week.
Brown, who is an awesome recruiter in the space, who's been doing it for a while. But more than recruiting, which is he's great at, he's also a good like vocal sound piece, like for this industry. Like the guy will tell it like it is. He says what people need to hear and not what they want to hear. He gives it to businesses, he gives it to closers. He's just an all-around good conversation. And I think it's gonna be really good for the three of us to get together and just kind of bust heads all night. I'm gonna love it. But
Sounds
yeah,
good,
so
man.
guys, I mean this has been a great episode. We've learned a lot about Jaydaniel's trip to Costa Rica, just about just being better in general in what we do and being more intentional and just realizing that guys, like we all have the same time that everybody else has, and how we use it really determines how we grow. Till next time, guys, this is the Sales at Home podcast. I'm Vic, the Ninja Closer. That's my guy, Jaydaniel. We will see you next week.
Peace.